वेलकम टू द सपनाज होमस्कूलिंग चॅनल. डिअर फ्रेंड्स, मी रवींद्र. आज आपण 9th स्टँडर्ड सायन्सचा सेकंड लेसन वर्क अँड एनर्जीचे एक्सरसाइज बघणार आहोत आणि याच्यामधले सगळे जे सम्स आहेत ते पण आपण सॉल्व करून पाहणार आहोत. ओके, तर चलो लेट स्टार्ट. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आहे राईट डिटेल्ड आन्सर्स. ओके, त्यातला मग एक क्वेश्चन आहे एक्सप्लेन द डिफरन्स बिटवीन पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी अँड कायनेटिक एनर्जी. Okay. So the kinetic energy and potential energy differences. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by the body due to its motion. Potential energy is the energy possessed by the body because of its shape or position. Okay. Second one, it occurs only in one form and for doing work it does not have to be transformed into another form. Second, it occurs in various forms such as gravitational potential energy and electrical potential energy, but work is not done till it transformed into the kinetic energy. Okay, third point, kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square. Okay, and potential energy is equal to mgh. Okay, this is formula. Okay, so kinetic energy cannot be negative. Okay, potential energy can be negative. Examples, flowing water such as when falling from a waterfall. Okay, and potential energy example is water at the top of a waterfall before the drops. Now the question B, derive the formula for the kinetic energy of an object of mass m. Okay, the mass is m and moving with the velocity v. Okay, the velocity किती v आहे. ओके, आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे, फॉर्म्युला फाइंड आउट करायचा आहे. ओके, तो suppose a stationary object of a mass m moves because of an applied force. Okay, let u be the initial velocity. Okay, initial velocity ला आपण u ने लिहितो आणि फायनल वेलोसिटीला v लिहितो. तो हियर u is 0 कारण स्टार्टिंगला जो स्पीड आहे तो 0 आहे. Let the applied force be f. Okay, force साठी f. This generates an acceleration. Okay, acceleration साठी आपण a letter use करतो in the object and after time t. Okay, so the time साठी t. The velocity of the object becomes equal to v. Okay, so the final velocity is v. Okay, initial ला आपण u use केलेला आहे. The displacement during this time is s. Okay, displacement साठी आपण s letter use करतोय. The work done on the object is, okay, आता आपण याचा फॉर्म्युला लिहू. ओके, the work is equal to what? F into s. F is force and s is displacement. Okay, याला आपण इक्वेशन फर्स्ट लिहू. ओके, using Newton's second law of motion. Okay, the second law of motion says force is equal to mass into acceleration. That is the point 2. Okay, so using Newton's second law of equations of motions. Okay, so s means displacement is equal to u into 2 t. U is initial velocity and t is a time. Okay, plus 1 upon 2 into at square. Here a is equal to acceleration and t is equal to time square. Okay, so however as initial velocity is 0, okay, so u is 0, so u into t is 0 into t is equal to 0. Okay, so the s remains 1 upon 2 into at square. Okay, that is the point 3. Okay, so now work is equal to ma, because instead of f I have written ma into instead of s I have written 1 upon 2 into at square. Okay, so formula is work is equal to f into s. Okay, so for f we have written ma and for s we have written 1 upon 2 at square using equations 2 and 3 in 1. Okay, so work is equal to 1 upon 2 m into at square because t square is already given. Okay, and a into a is a square. Okay, so it is in the bracket 80 and the square of the bracket. Okay, so this is point 4. Using Newton's first equations of motion. Okay, so what it says, v is equal to u into at. V is equal to u into at. Okay, so v is equal to the u is 0, initial velocity is 0, so it is 80. Okay, फक्त 80 राहिले. So v square is equal to a square into 2 square, a square into t square. Okay, so a square into t square we can write in the bracket a into t square whole square. Okay, so v square is equal to 80 square. So instead of, okay, here a into t square I can write v square. Okay, so the work is equal to 1 upon 2 m. Okay, instead of a t square, I have written v square. So using equation 4 and 5, the kinetic energy gained by an object is the amount of work done on the object. That is kinetic energy is equal to work, and work is what? 1 upon 2 mv square. So the answer is kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square. Now question C. Prove that the kinetic energy of a freely flowing object on reaching the ground is nothing but the transformation of its initial potential energy. Okay. The answer is, let us look at the kinetic and potential energies of an object of a mass m. Okay, mass m आपण use केलं, falling freely from the height h. Okay, so the height is h. When the object is at different heights, okay, as shown in the figure, the point A is at the height h, okay, from the ground. Okay, let the point B at distance v, okay, vertically below A. Okay, so the point B is below A. Let the point C on the ground. Okay, let the point C on the ground, okay, directly below A and B. Let us calculate the energies of the object A, B and C. Okay, here you can check this diagram. Okay, इथे बघा point A आहे, हा point B आहे, below the point A and point C on the ground. Okay, तर एक ऑब्जेक्ट जेव्हा फ्रीली फ्लॉल करतो तर हा A to B डिस्टन्सला आपण x म्हटलेला आहे, B to C डिस्टन्स हा कोण असणार आहे, तर बिकॉज A to C is h, okay, so B to C is h minus x. Okay, so this distance is x, this distance is h minus x, and this total distance is h. Okay, चलो आपण सॉल्व करूया. Now the point 1. Let the velocity of the object be vb. Okay, so for the B object, velocity is vb. Okay, when it reaches the point B, having fallen through the distance x. Okay, so u is initial speed is 0, so u is 0. Okay, displacement is x. Okay, and the a is what? Acceleration is what? The gravitational acceleration. Okay, so it is g. So v square is equal to u square plus 2as, that is formula. Okay, so v b square. Okay, so the initial velocity is 0, so it is 0 plus 2gx, because a is g and s is x, so 2gx. Okay, so v square b is equal to 2gx. Okay, so 0 गेलेला इथून. Okay, तो 2gx. Okay, so kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2. Okay, mv square. So kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 into m. Okay, for v it is 2gx. So the 2gx इथे लिहून टाकलं आपण. Height of the object when at B. Okay, point B ला काय असणार आहे, तर h minus x. मी आता सांगितलं तुम्हाला h minus x. तो potential energy is equal to mg into h minus x. Okay, so height आपण इथे, तर potential energy is equal to mgh minus mgx. Okay, mg into h and mg into x. Okay, तो minus ले लेते. Okay, the total energy, तो TE, total energy is what? Kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, तो kinetic energy काय आहे, mgx plus potential energy काय आहे, mgh minus mgx, mgh minus mgx. तो mgx कट झालं, mgh राहिलेला आहे, तर total energy is equal to mgh. That is point 1. Okay, आता second one. When the object is stationary at A, its initial velocity is u is equal to 0. Okay, so the kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 into mass into velocity square. Okay, mv square. Okay, so velocity is what? U. So it is 0. Okay, so 1 upon 2 into m into u square. U square is what? 0 square. So 0 square is 0. 0 into m is 0. 0 into 1 upon 2 is 0. So our kinetic energy is 0. Okay, so if the kinetic energy is 0, okay, here you know total energy is equal to what? Potential energy into kinetic energy. Okay, so kinetic energy is 0, then the total energy is equal to potential energy. That is why potential energy is equal to mgh. Okay, because total energy is mgh, so total energy is equal to potential energy is equal to mgh. Okay, so the answer is here. Now the point 3. Let the velocity of the object be vc. Okay, when it reaches the ground near the point C. Okay, at the point B it's VB, at the point C it's VC. Okay, so initial velocity is 0, so U is 0, S is h, and A acceleration is equal to g. So V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Okay, so U square is 0, so 0. Okay, so VC square is equal to 0 plus 2GH. Okay, so instead of A I have written G, instead of S I have written H. Okay, H and G. Okay, so kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 into mVC square. Okay, so for VC we have written 2GH. Okay, so it is 1 upon 2 into, okay, 2GH, 1 upon 2 into m into 2GH. Okay, so kinetic energy is equal to mgh, because 2 ला 2 चा भाग गेला इथे. Okay, 2 divided by 2. So remaining is mgh. Okay, so kinetic energy is equal to mgh. Okay, now the height of the object from the ground at point C is h. Okay, is equal to 0. Height is 0. Now potential is equal, energy is equal to m into g into h. If the height is 0, then 0 into g is 0 and 0 into m is 0. So the total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy, but potential energy is 0. Okay, so the total energy is what? It's equal to the kinetic energy. The total energy and kinetic energy are equal, so the total energy is mgh. This is the point 3. So from the equation 1 and 2, we see that the potential energy of the object at its initial position is the same as the kinetic energy at the ground. Okay, we have proven that. Question D. Determine the amount of work done when an object is displaced at an angle of 300 with respect to the direction of the applied force. Okay, the answer is when an object is displaced by displacement S and by applying force F at an angle 30 degree. Okay, the work done can be given as work is equal to F into S into cos theta. Okay, because angle is what? 30 degree. Okay, so 30 degree angle is cos theta. Okay, so theta is equal to 30 degree. Okay, so work is equal to Fs into cos 30. Okay, the cos 30 is what? Root 3 upon 2. So work is equal to Fs into root 3 upon 2. Okay, because cos 30 is root 3 upon 2. Now we'll see question E. Okay, if an object has zero momentum, does it have kinetic energy? Explain your answer. So the answer is no. It does not have kinetic energy if it does not have momentum. Okay, the momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Okay, if it is 0, okay, it implies that v is equal to 0 because mass cannot be 0. Okay, mass कधीच शून्य नसतं. ओके, वस्तुमान हे काहीतरी असतं, त्याच्यामुळे व्हॉट इज 0? 0 व्हेलोसिटी असणार, कारण वस्तुमान आणि व्हेलोसिटी मधला जे मल्टिप्लिकेशन आहे त्याचा आन्सर जर 0 असेल, ओके, तर त्यातला एक फॅक्टर कोणता तरी 0 असणार आहे. ओके, आणि मास 0 नसतो, त्यामुळे v 0 असणार आहे, व्हेलोसिटी 0 असणार आहे. ओके, म्हणजे व्हेलोसिटी 0 असेल म्हणजे मोमेंटम नसेल तर तिकडे kinetic energy नसते, 0 असते. So now kinetic energy is in relation with the mv square. Okay, so if v is equal to 0, then kinetic energy also will be 0. Okay, thus if an object has no momentum, then it cannot possess kinetic energy. F question. Why is the work done on an object moving with uniform circular motion 0? Okay, so in uniform circular motion, the force acting on an object is along the radius of the circle. Its displacement is along the tangent of the circle. Thus they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, hence theta is equal to what? 90 degree, and cos 90 is what? The 0. Okay, theta is 90 degree, cos 90 is 0. So Fs into cos theta means cos 90 is the answer is 0. So 0 into Fs is 0. So work is equal to 0. Okay. या डायग्राम मध्ये तुम्हाला जास्त कळेल. हा सेंटर आहे, हा ऑब्जेक्ट आहे, हा सर्क्युलर मोशन मध्ये फिरतोय, पण जो या पोझिशनला आहे तेव्हा त्याच्यावरचा फोर्स आणि त्याचं मुवमेंटचं डायरेक्शन ह्याच्यामध्ये 90 डिग्री अँगल आहे. ओके, म्हणून cos 90 इज इक्वल टू आपण 0 घेतलेलं. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नाव क्वेश्चन 2. चूज वन और मोर करेक्ट अल्टरनेटिव्स. A. For work to be performed, energy must be transferred from one place to another. B. Joule is the unit of work. Which of the forces involved in dragging a heavy object on a smooth horizontal surface have the same magnitude? Gravitational force. Power is a measure of the rapidity with which work is done. While dragging or lifting an object, negative work is done by gravitational force and frictional force. Question 3. Rewrite the following sentences using a proper alternative. A. The potential energy of your body is least when you are sleeping on the ground. Question B. The total energy of an object falling freely towards the ground remains unchanged. C. If you increase the velocity of a car moving on a flat surface to 4 times its original speed, its potential energy will not change. The work done on an object does not depend on initial velocity of the object. Question 4. Study the following activity and answer the questions. Take 2 aluminium channels of a different length, place the lower ends of the channels on the floor and hold their upper ends at the same height. Now take 2 balls of the same size and weight and release them from the top end of the channel. They will roll down and cover the same distance. म्हणजे काय करायचं मित्रांनो, की 2 असे रूळ म्हणतात ना, तसं की 2 पट्ट्या पकडायच्यात आपल्याला तिरप्या रेषेमध्ये, ज्याच्या वरच्या बाजूने आपण बॉल सोडणार आहोत, जे बॉल घरंगळत खाली येणार आहेत. ओके, आणि त्याचा अँगल, त्याची उंची आपल्याला समान ठेवायची आहे. त्यांनी बॉल जे अंतर पार करणार ते समान असलं पाहिजे. ओके, आणि मग हा प्रयोग करून आपल्याला काही प्रश्नांची उत्तर द्यायची. क्वेश्चन. ॲट द मोमेंट of releasing the balls, which energy does the ball have? Okay, answer. At the moment of the releasing the ball, they possess potential energy as they are at a height above the ground. Okay, जमिनीपासून ते बॉल वरती धरल्यामुळे जेव्हा ते वर असतात त्यावेळी त्यांच्यात कोणती एनर्जी असते, तर पोटेन्शियल एनर्जी असते. त्या एनर्जीच्याच मदतीने तर ती घरंगणार आहेत खाली. Question 2. As the balls roll down, which energy is converted into which other form of energy? As the balls roll down, the potential energy converted into the kinetic energy since they are now in motion. म्हणजेच स्थितीज ऊर्जेचं गतिज ऊर्जेत रूपांतर होतं, कारण ते खाली घरंगळतात ग्रॅव्हिटीच्या मदतीने. 3. Why do the balls cover the same distance on rolling down? Since they have same speed, they will cover the same distance. ओके, आपण ते बॉल सोडलेले आहेत, त्यांना धक्का नाही मारलेला, म्हणजे फक्त ग्रॅव्हिटीच्या मदतीने ते खाली येणार, त्यामुळे ते सेम स्पीडमध्ये सेम डिस्टन्स कव्हर करणार आहेत. Question 4. What is the form of the eventual total energy of the balls? Answer is kinetic energy. Okay. Which law related to energy does the above activity demonstrate and explain? Okay. Law of conservation of energy is demonstrated using this activity. At the top of the channels, the total mechanical energy of the balls is in the form of potential energy. Now, as the balls roll down, they come into the motion. This motion shows that the balls now possess kinetic energy too. As a law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, this means this kinetic energy comes into the existence because of decreases in the potential energy of the ball. Decreases in potential energy is due to the decreases in height. Also, when the ball reaches the bottom, the total mechanical energy of the balls is in the form of kinetic energy. This shows that all the potential energy of the ball got converted to kinetic energy at the bottom. Okay, म्हणजे एनर्जी तयारही करता येत नाही, एनर्जी नष्टही करता येत नाही. एनर्जी फक्त एका फॉर्ममधून दुसऱ्या फॉर्ममध्ये बदलता येते. बॉलमध्ये आधी स्थितीज ऊर्जा होती, त्याचं गतिज ऊर्जेत रूपांतर झालं, म्हणजेच पोटेन्शियल एनर्जीचं कायनेटिक एनर्जीमध्ये कन्व्हर्जन झालेलं आहे. ओके, सॉल्व द फॉलोइंग एक्झाम्पल्स. आन्सर इन नोटबुक. क्वेश्चन 5चे आपण आन्सर्स आपल्या नोटबुकमध्ये पाहूयात. आता आपण पुढे ते. क्वेश्चन 5. सॉल्व द फॉलोइंग एक्झाम्पल्स. अन इलेक्ट्रिक पंप हॅज 2 किलोवॅट पॉवर. हाऊ मच वॉटर विल द पंप लिफ्ट एव्हरी मिनिट टू द हाईट ऑफ 10 मीटर. ओके, त्याचा आन्सर आपल्याला काढायचं आहे. तर गिवन इन्फॉर्मेशन काय काय बघा आपल्याकडे. पॉवरसाठी आपण पी यूज करणार आहोत, दॅट इज 2 किलोवॅट. ओके, 2 किलोवॅटला आपण वॅटमध्ये कन्वर्ट करू, कारण आपला जो फॉर्म्युला आहे त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला वॅटमध्ये पाहिजे, तर तिथे होतं 2000 वॅट इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोवॅट. ओके, 1000 किलोवॅट इज इक्वल टू 1000 वॅट इज इक्वल टू 1 किलोवॅट, म्हणजे 2 किलोवॅटचं कन्व्हर्जन होतं 2000 वॅटमध्ये. ओके, हाईट इज वॉट 10 मीटर. टाइम इज टी साठी किती 1 मिनिट आहे, तर 1 मिनिटला सेकंड्समध्ये कन्वर्ट केलं तर 60 सेकंड्स होतात. ओके, तर ॲक्सिलरेशन ड्यू टू द ग्रॅव्हिटी त्याला जी म्हणतात, आणि त्या ॲक्सिलरेशनचं हे युनिव्हर्सल आहे, त्याचं आपलं व्हॅल्यू काय असतं 9.8 मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वेअर्ड. ओके, टू फाइंड मास ऑफ द वॉटर. ओके, किती पाणी वर जाणार आहे, मास ऑफ द वॉटर किती असणार आहे, त्यासाठी आपण एम हे लेटर यूज करूया, आणि तो क्वेश्चन मार्क आहे तो काढायचा आहे. ह्याचा फॉर्म्युला माहिती आहे, फॉर्म्युला आहे पी इज इक्वल टू एम इंटू जी इंटू एच अपॉन टी. ओके, मग सोल्युशन, तर एम म्हणजे मास आहे, जी म्हणजे ग्रॅव्हिटी आहे, एच म्हणजे हाईट आहे, अपॉन टी, टी म्हणजे टाइम, पी म्हणजे पॉवर आपल्याला माहिती आहे दॅट इज 2000 वॅट. ओके, 2 किलोवॅटचं कन्व्हर्जन. आपल्याला मासची व्हॅल्यू काढायची, मग काय करायचं, हा जी इथे मल्टिप्लायमध्ये तो अपोजिट साईडला डिनॉमिनेटरला येणार बघा, एच मल्टिप्लिकेशनमध्ये अपोजिट साईडला डिनॉमिनेटरमध्ये येणार, टी जो इथे डिनॉमिनेटरला आहे तो अपोजिट साईडला वरती जाणार. ओके, न्यूमरेटरमध्ये येणार, म्हणजे पी इंटू टी अपॉन जी इंटू एच. ओके, हे मासचं आपलं व्हॅल्यू फाइंड करण्याचा फॉर्म्युला झाला. ओके, मग आपण व्हॅल्यू पुट करू याच्यामध्ये. काय काय व्हॅल्यू पुट करणार, तर 2000 इंटू 60 अपॉन 9.8 इंटू 10. हे सगळं सॉल्व करायचं, 0 0 कट केले, मग 98ने आपण 12,000ला डिवाइड करायचं, आन्सर येतं 1224.5 kilogram. The water lifted by the pump is 1224.5 kilogram. Question B. If 1200 watt electric iron is used daily for 30 minutes, how much total electricity is consumed in the month of April? Okay, so here we know few things like April month is 30 days month. Okay, so the time is here 30 minutes every day for 30 days. Okay, so here the given things are power P is equal to 1200 watt. Okay, so 1200 watt converted into the kilowatt is 1200 into 10 raised to -3. Okay, आणि वॅटला किलोवॅटमध्ये कन्वर्ट करतोय आपण, तर 10⁻³ येणार. ओके, टाइम टी इज इक्वल टू 30 minutes. ओके, 30 minutes इज हाफ एन आवर, मीन्स 0.5 hour. Okay, and number of days. Okay, number of days is equal to 30 days because it's month of April. Okay, so to find electricity consumed in a month. Okay, solution. Okay, so E is equal to P into T into number of days. Okay, so substituting the given values. Okay, so E is equal to what, 1200 into 10 raised to -3, that is power. Okay, the time is T, 0.5 hours, आणि multiply by days, so that is for 30 days. Okay, तर हे बघा, ह्याचं सगळ्याचं कॅल्क्युलेशन केलं तर आन्सर येतं 18 युनिट्स. ओके, इथे 1200 इंटू 10 रेज टू -3चा आन्सर येतो 1.2. तर 1.2 इंटू 0.5 इंटू 30 केलं असतं, आन्सर येतो 18. तो 18 युनिट्स आपल्या इलेक्ट्रिसिटीचं कन्झम्पशन आहे. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन सी. If the energy of a ball falling from a height of 10 meter is reduced by 40%, how high will it rebound? Okay, so the given काय काय information आहे, initial height is h1, that is 10 meter. Okay, so initial, okay, the initial potential energy is 100. If we assume 100, okay, the final potential energy is 100 minus 40%. Okay, so 100 minus 40 is 60. Okay, so if this is 100%, then this is reduced by 40%, so that is 60. Okay, so that is final potential energy. So for that, PE2 and PE1 we have taken. So to find final height, okay, final height, okay, so we'll take H2 for the final height. So that is question mark. Okay, the formula is equal to PE. Formula for the potential energy is equal to mgh. M is mass, G is gravity, H is height. Okay, the solution. PE1 म्हणजे potential energy 1 is equal to mgh1 and potential energy 2 is equal to mgh2. Okay, height 2. Okay, so dividing 1 by 2, 2 by 1. Okay, so PE2 upon PE1 is equal to mgh2 upon mgh1. Okay, so PE2 is what, 60, PE1 is 100. Okay, so mgh2 is h2. Okay, and mgh1 is 10 because m deduct झाले, g deduct झालेले. Okay, so h2 upon h1 is 10, so here it is 10. Okay, so h2 is equal to हा 10 जो डिनॉमिनेटरला आहे तो अपोजिट साईडला मल्टिप्लाय होणार, तो 60 × 10 अपॉन 60 × 10 अपॉन 10, तर 10 10 कट झाले, 60 राहिले. ओके, तो h2 इज व्हॉट 6 मीटर. ओके, सो द बॉल विल रिबाउंड बाय 6 मीटर. सॉरी, ते टायपिंग मिस्टेक आहे, हा 100 आहे, तो here it is 100. Okay, so 60 × 10 is 600 upon 100 is 6 meter. Okay, so the ball will rebound by 6 meter. Now question D, the velocity of a car increases from 54 km/h to 72 km/h. How much is the work done if the mass of the car is 1500 kilogram? Okay, so initial velocity, okay, that is u, okay, is 54 km/h. Okay, so if we convert into the meter per second, so it is 54 into 1000, because किलोमीटरला मीटर मध्ये कन्वर्ट करताना 1000 ने मल्टिप्लाय, आर ला सेकंड मध्ये कन्वर्ट करायचं असेल तर 3600. ओके, बिकॉज एव्हरी आर वी हॅव 3600 seconds. ओके, so it is 54 into 1000 upon 3600 meter per second. Final velocity v is equal to 72 km/h, तो 72 into 1000 upon 3600 meter per second. Okay, किलोमीटर पर आवर ला मीटर पर सेकंड मध्ये कन्वर्ट केलेलं आहे. सो इट इज द आन्सर इज 20 मीटर पर सेकंड. हियर आन्सर इज 15 मीटर पर सेकंड. ओके, सो u is 15 मीटर पर सेकंड, v is 20 मीटर पर सेकंड. ओके, तो मास ऑफ द कार इज 1500 kg. टू फाइंड वर्क डन, ओके, work done is w. Okay, so for w is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Okay, so the final kinetic energy is 1/2 into mv square minus 1/2 into mu square, because इनिशियल कायनेटिक एनर्जी मध्ये u जो आहे तो v जो आहे तो u आहे, दॅट इज इनिशियल एनर्जी, म्हणून u इथे यूज केलेला आहे आणि इथे v यूज केलेला आहे. ओके, सो यू अंडरस्टूड द डिफरन्स वाय इट इज mv स्क्वेअर अँड हियर इट इज mu स्क्वेअर. ओके, सो 1/2 is common, m is common, so we have taken out. Okay, and in the bracket it's v square minus u square. Okay, so it is 1/2 into mass is 1500, so 1/2 into 1500 into in the bracket it's 20 square minus 15 square. Okay, so 20 square is 400 and 15 square is 225. Okay, so it's 1/2 into 1500 into, okay, 400 minus 225, the answer is 175. Okay, so if we multiply this, the answer is 1,31,250 joule. Okay, the amount of work done is 1,31,250 joule. Okay, so now the equation, last question of this exercise. Ravi applied a force of 10 Newton and moved a book 30 centimeter in the direction of the force. How much was the work done by Ravi? Okay, so here given is force, that is 10 Newton, displacement, okay, displacement is s is equal to 30 centimeter. Okay, so if you convert 30 centimeter into the meter, then it is 30 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Okay, so the work done is equal to F into S. Okay, that is the formula. So F, the value of S is 10 and value of S is 30 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay, the substituting values. Okay, so how much it is? The 10 into 30 upon 100, because 10 raised to minus 2 is upon 100. Okay, so 0 0 cut, 0 0 cut, it's 1 into 3 is equal to 3. The answer is work done by Ravi is 3 joule. तर फ्रेंड्स, आपली एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व करून झालेली आहे. जर तुम्हाला व्हिडिओ आवडला असेल तर या व्हिडिओला लाईक करा आणि असेच व्हिडिओ पाहायचे असतील तर सपना झूम स्कूलिंग चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करून फॉलो करायला विसरू नका. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.